world. The weather outside is not that cold, and if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
Hello everyone and welcome to Country with Celine. I'm your host Celine Chimargi, and today we have Rachel McIntyre.
Honey, you just sing for my baggage, but I could be the whole package and so much more. I don't need your help with unpacking, don't need your help dragging my wagon through any doors. Oh, since you pack so light, it should be easy to go. Don't leave a thing, just hit the road.
Rachel, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm honored to be here on your show. Thanks for having me.
Anytime, girlfriend, anytime. So first things first, your latest single, Blue Hawaii. I am an Elvis Presley fan, okay? And are you an Elvis Presley fan?
Big Elvis fan.
Okay, so if you're new to Elvis, we'll just fill you in. There's a movie called Blue Hawaii with Elvis Presley in it, and there's a song called Blue Hawaii. So tell me, was Blue Hawaii your song kind of inspired by the movie or by like Elvis in a way?
I think that the initial writing of the song was not inspired by Elvis. It was inspired by the drink, a Blue Hawaiian. But kind of the vibe and the style that I chose to take the song with was definitely had a lot of those vintage Elvis-esque influences.
Yes. Well, I also checked out a cover of yours on your Instagram, The Way You Look Tonight.
Just thinking of you and the way you look tonight.
That was amazing, I have to say. If you guys
Oh, thank you.
no problem. You guys got to check it out. It is awesome. So, did you grow up listening to like the older music, like Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, like Elvis? Was that your type of vibe?
Absolutely. In several different ways, it was my type of vibe. Like when we would be going to the beach, my parents would play the Beach Boys. My grandfather would take care of me a lot, and he always was playing like 50s, 60s music. And then also when I was in high school, I took this class. It was kind of like a rock history course, and I learned a lot about songwriting and the history of songwriting, and I just really fell in love with the oldies, and so it's really inspired my music that I make now.
Yeah, I can hear it in your voice too, because you sound like you can totally pull off like a 50s classic or like a 60s classic if you were to sing it. Like, when you go to those lounges and you have when you watch like the older movies, then you really see it. But when like there's a singer up on stage and like it's black and white, this show, and like everybody's sitting down in the restaurant and like just like that, just the nice, smooth voice, which is totally different from the typical music that we have nowadays, because no one really releases like that 50s music or like that 60s music, which would be so nice to like hear again. I think that should be like on your bucket list. I mean, like,
Oh, thank you. I am a big fan of like all the crooner type of music, like Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, all that sort of stuff. It's actually my top listened to genre on Spotify. Like last year during the Spotify Wrap, that was my top listened to genre. But I really enjoy singing that sort of music. So maybe down the pipeline, that'll be something I do.
you never know. I mean, anything can happen. And also, I want to throw out a Christmas album. I feel like your voice would fit a Christmas album.
Oh, thank you. I'm obsessed with Christmas music. I listen to it all year long. So, yeah, that would be something fun too.
Well, Christmas is right around the corner. So before you know it, we're already going to be sitting down on Christmas Eve, having dinner, and then Christmas Day opening our gifts, because we're still little kids at heart. We still expect gifts. I don't know about you, but I'm 24 and I still expect a gift from my mom.
Yeah, I'm 24 too, and I definitely expect a gift from my mom.
Awesome. You're 97's baby too.
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
July 7th.
Okay, so is that a Libra?
It's a Cancer. So I was born on 7/7/97, so 7's my lucky number.
Oh, shoot. That's awesome. Yeah, and 777, that is a good number too. It's a spiritual number if you look up the meaning
Yeah.
behind it. Let's talk more about music. So, is anything in the works? Because prior to this interview, we're kind of touching on something. I'm sure. Do you want to spill it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm going to be kind of reimagining my single that I released last year, High School Reunion. It was the first single that I ever released, and I had such a great response from my audience from it that I just wanted to do something to celebrate the year of that release. And so last year, whenever I released this song, I put out a call to just my community, people that I knew, people who listened to my music, and asked them to send me photos when they were in high school. So, like their high school graduation photo, like their senior photo. And so I had over 85 people send me their high school photo, and I was able to incorporate it into the lyric video. So the lyric video looks like you're flipping through a high school annual with all these people that I know in it. And it was just a really great moment where I felt, even though it was during 2020 when everyone was isolated, I felt like it was just like a moment of community when I realized like I have a lot of these people that are supporting my music. And so it was a really heartwarming experience, and I just wanted to do something to celebrate that. So it's going to be a live acoustic version of it. There'll be a video, and it'll also be released on Spotify and Apple Music.
Well, that's so exciting. Well, October is literally right around the corner. So hopefully we'll get our hands on that soon and get to check all of that out. That's amazing. And it makes you feel so grateful when you know like how many supporters like you have. I've heard so many artists, they share stories about like the type of support they have from fans, and it's quite amazing how dedicated fans can be and how loving and like caring they are for like a certain artist. Like they really want to support you and want you to do really well. And I also want to touch on a color scheme because behind you, we got a pink curtain going on. And on your Instagram, we got pinks, then we got purples, now we got blues. So is there like a specific reason for that? Or you just like the aesthetic of it?
There is a reason for it. I went to school for communications, and I studied a lot about branding. And so when I was trying to think about how I wanted to present myself as an artist, I really dove deep into color theory and what sort of emotions colors evoke. And and so I really gravitated towards pink, purple, and peach. Those are the colors I wear on stage, those colors I use for any sort of graphics or promotional materials. And they kind of represent different facets of my music. I really like wearing purple a lot because purple's tied, sort of like mysterious, sort of spiritual things. And I'm also a worship leader in my job that pays money. And then purple's also the color of my high school. We were purple and gold growing up, and so it's sort of like a little homage to my hometown. And then I feel like pink is just associated with really fun, vibrant, energetic, feminine energy. And I just wanted someone to be able to look at me while I'm performing or see a post on social media and kind of have an idea of what sort of music I want to do and what sort of vibe I give off. And so hopefully that comes across.
Yeah, well, it's appealing to the eye as well because I know a lot of people, and you definitely know this too. When you're scrolling like someone's Instagram, if their feed is like appealing to you, it's like an automatic follow for some reason because you want to just like everything that they post, you enjoy looking at. Like for me, it's clothing. So when someone has like those
Mhm.
aesthetic Instagrams with like a bunch of different like cute clothing, it's like, ha, I want to follow them. So I like that. I knew there was a meaning behind it. I had to ask.
Well, thank you for asking. I spent a lot of time on it. Spent a lot of time trying to brainstorm what would be perfect and fit with my music. And so thank you for asking about that.
No problem. See, I noticed. I have an eye. So now, Rachel, where did you grow up? Let's get to know you a little bit more.
I grew up in the small town of Oliver Springs, Tennessee. It's in East Tennessee, about 2.5 hours from Nashville, and the closest city is Knoxville, which is about an hour away. We have a few claims to fame. Um, we had a Jake Gyllenhaal movie that was filmed here in the late 90s called October Sky. And we have one of the largest four-wheeling ATV parks around, and people come from all over to four-wheel there and all that good stuff. And it's called Winrock. And then this is kind of one of my favorite things about my hometown. It's just so random. And I don't really think it'd be called a claim to fame, but it's just something that's quirky and different about it. We have a pair of mountains that literally just look like boobs. And because it's a coal mining town. And so a long time ago, there was a lot of strip mining that happened on top of these mountains, and they don't strip mine there anymore. So the trees have grown back over it. And so it's kind of become just like on the horizon. There's just like a pair of boobs. And it's referred to as Titty Top Mountain. So we definitely do sing our rendition of Rocky Top, but with Titty Top. So that's Oliver Springs for you.
Okay, hold up. I have to see what this is actually looking like. Now
I'm scared for your search history though. If you just search Titty Top Mountain, it probably won't come up. You need to search Titty Top Mountain, Oliver Springs, Tennessee, or you'll probably get some really questionable searches. And anybody out there listening to this, I don't recommend just searching Titty Top Mountain in Google.
That's what I was gonna do.
I'm in my hometown right now, and so if I will pass by a scenic view of Titty Top Mountain, and I will send you a picture you can throw up so people can see what it looks like.
Please send me a photo of this. I have to see this mountain.
Okay.
I typed in after I took out Oliver Springs, Tennessee, and I just typed in City Top Mountain. I was curious. It's actually all mountains that like are shaped like a boob. Interesting. I never would have thought that there's mountains shaped like a boob. Okay then. That was quite a topic we were talking about. Let's get back into it. What made you get into music? Did you grow up with like a musical family, or is your family musically inclined?
Well, both of my grandmothers were really great pianists, and both my parents played piano. But I actually didn't get into music until I was in third grade. I was a really shy kid, but I was also very competitive whenever it came to academics. I always wanted to get the top grade in class, and there was a girl in my grade who sometimes, well, we would go back and forth of who got the highest grade, who got awards at the end of the year. And she started taking piano lessons. And so in my brain, I was like, okay, if I'm going to like reign superior of third grade, then I need to start taking piano lessons. And so I just went home and asked my dad to sign me up, and it turned into me discovering my huge passion for doing music. And so it's kind of funny, it started out as like a classroom rivalry, but now it's something that I do and I want to do as a career.
I mean, there's a reason for everything. So there was a reason why you were that competitive when you were younger. It was to discover your actual hidden talent that you have. And you touched on before. So communications, that's what you went to school for.
Mhm.
And singing. So did you know after you graduated high school that you wanted to be a singer, or was it like you wanted to be in communications, then after that decided that you wanted to actually pursue a career in music?
That's a great question. So I knew whenever I was in high school that I wanted to do music. Honestly, I knew from a very young age that I wanted to be a singer-songwriter. And part of me really wanted to just go to Nashville right whenever I graduated high school. But I knew that I wanted to go to college to try to get some sort of skills that would help me with my music.
Mhm.
And so I chose communications because I wanted to be able to do all of my own branding, social media, videography, photography, website design, like all that sort of stuff. And I went to the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, had a great experience there, and I'm really thankful for all the great professors that I had there. And I'm really happy that I went through college, because not only did I learn all those skills, like I mentioned before, but I also just gained a lot of life experience and learned a whole new sort of type of songwriting. And um, so yeah, I went to school with the intent to learn skills to help me with music, but I've always known that I wanted to do music stuff.
Well, that's awesome. See, it's smart. People like you guys are smart to, if you know you want to get into music rather than just saying, okay, I'm going to become a singer, like, and just go that kind of route, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. You could totally do that. But it's good to have like background knowledge of the industry as well. So for an independent artist like yourself, correct?
Hmm.
It's easy like for you to try to navigate through that path instead of kind of paying money here, there, here, can you do this, can you do that, kind of just do it on your own, because being in the music industry, it takes a lot of money. Like there's a lot of money involved, and I never, to be completely honest with you, I had no idea like all the money that goes behind all of this, because you have to, I think someone was saying you have to uh, pay, I think it was, you have to pay money to release a song. I think I heard that correctly. Like you have to pay someone some money to release a song. Is that correct?
Well, you have to go through a distributor. And
Okay.
so to get on Apple Music and Spotify, there is like a small fee if you go through DistroKid, CD Baby, that sort of thing. And so it does cost a little bit of money to release songs, and then costs money to get the photos for it, costs money to get it professionally produced and mixed. And so I'm happy that I learned skills to at least cut down on some of the costs so I don't have to get as much help with it. I can do a little bit more stuff myself.
Yeah, exactly. Save your money. But it's okay. In no time, you'll be making a lot of money. You'll be living the life as a musician. Isn't that, that's like a perk of being like in the music industry too. Because I mean, like you can literally have that one song that just erupts. And
Mhm.
essentially, in a way, like you're kind of like not like technically set. I wouldn't say set, but like you're off to a really good start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember Wopon Gangnam Style, wo
Yeah.
one song.
Once-
Whew. That video, oh my god, do you remember that dance, like with the
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. People were doing that in high school all the time. I think that I did that at prom. Did that dance.
do you remember the Harlem Shake? Or
Oh yeah, I remember the Harlem Shake.
that one?
Yeah.
My school took that song so seriously that like they actually acted it out, because you all freeze and then you do the shake. I'm pretty sure that's how that went. And do
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't put the song in here so people don't think I'm crazy and I'm humming a random song. I'm actually humming a song. Okay, well, let's play a little game to get to know you
Okay.
even more. I'm going to shoot you out a couple of questions and then just answer them, okay?
All right.
So the first one is, what song would you sing at karaoke?
Oh my gosh, my go-to karaoke song is Any Man of Mine by Shania Twain.
I swear to God, every girl, you guys all say Shania Twain, but I mean, who wouldn't? Shania is Shania. Like her songs are classics, they're iconic. You can totally
Yeah.
sing them anywhere, anytime, just like Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, absolutely love Shania Twain.
What is your favorite song to perform? Like a song of your own, or even like a cover?
My favorite original to perform is Baggage because it's got a fairly easy to remember first line of the chorus. It's "Honey, you just see me for my baggage, but I could be the whole package." And so in my last couple of performances, I've been able to teach the audience that, and then they've been able to sing it back with me and jam along. And so that's been really fun. And also, whenever I have a band playing with me, they love playing that song because they can solo on it and have a lot of fun. So Baggage is my favorite song to perform.
That's awesome. That's such a surreal feeling when the audience does that with you. That's pretty crazy. It makes the artist very emotional too, because
Hmm.
who would think like, when you're a kid, you dream of that, but then when it actually comes true, it's just like, oh my gosh, wow, like my dream is coming true. Another question I have is, if you were to talk to a younger version of yourself, what would you say?
Mm, I would probably say stop being so concerned about what other people think, because I grew up being, like I mentioned before, kind of like that overachiever kid, always trying to get the top grade. And I knew that I wanted to do music, but music isn't really something that's super academic. And so whenever I was in high school, I was class president, I was valedictorian, and I felt like I had a lot of pressure to do something really academic. And I don't even think people were putting that pressure on me, but I just thought that other people assumed I would become a doctor, I would become a lawyer, or something like that. And I knew inside that I wanted to be a musician, but it took me a really long time to even admit that to other people, because I was so concerned about what other people would think about that.
It's because music, that industry, like if you say you want to be a singer, you want to be a dancer, like anything to do with the arts, it's
Mhm.
always like an automatic, what's wrong with you? Like get a real job. I completely
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from. And even though people might not have put that like pressure on you, but you kind of did it to yourself, it's because society has made that such a thing where if you are in the music industry, or you want to do something in the arts, it's just not considered a real job. Like if a real job would be a doctor, or like
Mhm.
construction, or a lawyer, or et cetera, et cetera. Like those are considered in society a real job. But anything other than that is not.
Mhm.
But you can be anything you want to be. Like
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I just didn't want to tell people that I wanted to be a musician, because there's that initial, like, people don't think that you're going to make it. They don't think that you're going to be successful. And so there's that thing of whenever you say, like, oh, I want to be a musician, they're like, oh, okay, well, good luck,
yeah.
And so I was also trying to avoid that.
Course. I mean, because like when you look at the bigger picture too, there's a bunch of people who are trying, like, want to get into this industry. They want to make it.
Mhm.
But as long as you believe in yourself, that's all that matters. If you believe that you can make it, you're gonna make it. But if you have that doubt in your mind where it's like, I'm kind of unsure, like I don't know, there's so many people that are better than me, you're always gonna be in the same place. So you got to snap out of that mindset, and this goes for everyone listening. If you believe in something and you want to do something, don't let anybody's opinion get involved in your head. Keep them out. You're going to make it if you just believe and you put effort and determination and perseverance through everything. You're going to make it. It's the fine hard truth.
Mhm.
Preach that. Favorite place to travel?
Oh, favorite place to travel. Wow. It's been so long since I've been able to travel that it's hard to try to think about that. Well, I actually live in Chattanooga, Tennessee, is where I'm based. But I'm from Oliver Springs, Tennessee, which is about 2 hours away. And so anytime that I have free time like this weekend, I just come home. And so maybe Oliver Springs is my favorite place to travel. But this past weekend, my dad and I went up to the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, which is just about an hour from our house, and we rode bikes around Cades Cove and rode horses. And so maybe the Great Smoky Mountain area is my favorite place to travel.
That's awesome. I would love to actually go to Tennessee and visit all different parts because I've only ever been to Nashville and to Memphis. That's the only two
Mhm.
places that I've been. Memphis because of Elvis. Hello.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you have to come to East Tennessee so you can see Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and Sevierville and go to Dollywood. Like, you have to get the whole Dolly experience, because it was so cool, now being a country musician, growing up in this area. It was like Dolly Parton was just, she felt like a friend, because she was just at Dollywood like an hour away.
Right.
And so yeah, you gotta come down and go to Dollywood.
Yes. Oh, that's on my bucket list. As soon as everything is okay and like I can come down to the States because like
Mhm.
here is still a crap show, even though you can travel. There's just so many things that are going on up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways. And the last one that I have here is your favorite Elvis song because like you like Elvis, I have to ask.
Okay, I love the song "Suspicious Minds" because it's so catchy, first of all, but then like the story behind like how it got written, I always think about it for some reason because the guy who wrote it, which wasn't Elvis, it was another songwriter, he wrote it to convince his wife that he wasn't cheating on her, but he was cheating on her.
I did not know that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's good.
Yeah, and so like he was like seeing like, oh, we can't go on together with suspicious minds, but like he was cheating on her. So that story always pulls me in, and also it's just a really catchy song.
Yeah.
Yeah, love Suspicious Minds.
I've listened to that song, but I'm gonna take another listen to it and actually sit down now and listen to all the lyrics because I want to and hear it from that perspective because I just hear Elvis singing it and I just like, suspicious minds, but like
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. My favorite one is Burning Love, and I think it's mainly
Oh, love
because
that.
I think it's mainly because I heard it on Lilo and Stitch.
I was about to say that. I was literally about to say, like, I was 5 when Lilo and Stitch came out and was so obsessed with it. And it had Elvis music all the way through.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I feel like Lilo and Stitch made us 97 babies huge Elvis fans.
It's so true because their soundtrack, it was Elvis. She loved Elvis. And I think there was even like, I can't remember too well because it was a while ago. But I think there was a little clip when they had like, I think an Elvis go in. Or maybe I think it was Stitch. Stitch pretended he was Elvis. I think that's
Yeah.
Yeah, now I remember it. That was Lilo and Stitch was a good show. It was a really good show. They should bring that one back.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, thank you, Rachel, for joining me today on Country with Celine. It was so awesome chatting with you, and I look forward to doing this again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Anytime. Hopefully next time I come to Tennessee, I'll let you know and we can meet up. There's so many people I want to meet down there, man. Like, you guys are all there. Come to Toronto.
Yeah, come down to Tennessee and I'll show you around Dollywood.
Awesome.
Oh, I could be a salty fish.